Yeah, she looks gorgeous, doesn't she? Yeah.
Right, there we go. Let's go. Once there was, and once there was not, O best beloved, a witch woman, and her name was Cerridwen, which means white sow, and she calls herself this because she shares some pretty nasty habits with that porky beast. She's not all bad, and I hope you will come to see.
And when she says see, you start moving.
She lived, lives, or will soon perhaps one day live in a tower. This tower is made of 11 marvellous marble halls, each very different to the last. It is built upon a steep rock in the middle of a lake of still night-deep waters. Somewhere upon these islands of the mighty, wherein we make our home.
So this one comes over to this side, and then that one to that side. Quite hard to get out of these things on. Where's that? Oh, is it?
I'm just going to pause. I'll pause.
So that
Yeah.
not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
right,
we're
okay,
recording.
about 40 seconds. They were quite quick, the scene changes last time we did it. They were
Okay.
into there, and then bounced into there, and then standing in number 3.
Alright, where these bits are hidden then, that's the right up there.
I think I'm gonna move.
How are they gonna?
I'm gonna move. I mean, you can see it, but I'm gonna move the cauldron and the witch over. I think. Suss that out next
So
time.
when you do, let me just bounce him off.
Okay.
Number 3.
And
So
the witch
goes
woman.
in 13. Right, these need to be in front, don't they?
Yeah.
So like that, and then so, and Caliban, yeah?
Yeah.
That's that hip hop music, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the witch woman's son. Now he, I'm sorry to say, is somewhat of a monster, hideous to look upon, with a personality to match. He has been known as Caliban, Movran, and a Fagthi at different times and in different places.
Hard to get that clear.
He is full of fear and confusion, and his favourite pastime is to torment defenceless creatures. He pulls these and everything else he finds apart in an attempt to find out how things work. And although he sometimes finds out how things work, he never finds out why, nor does he even stop to question why.
What's that shadow thing? Is it better when it goes up like that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
that's
on the side, does it?
no up, stabby
So
sort
a bit
of.
up like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and there's
This-
like that little
this-
wrist actually. Well, we'll do that next time.
Despite his lack of charm, he is her son,
And then drop them down.
and Cerridwen loves him very dearly indeed. She is not totally blind to her offspring's shortcomings, however, and has so decided to concoct for him a spell of wisdom.
Right.
And that's the end. I'll just stop it.
Yeah, ready.
And so we come to our hero of sorts, young Gwion.
Hello.
The witch, oh,
Yeah.
okay. The witch woman had flown through the sky, and crept into his parents' house one night as they slept.
Oh dear.
And crept into his parents' house one night as they slept.
Up the ladder.
and kidnapped the poor boy from his bed. What? She carried him, crying pitifully, to her tower.
It looks absolutely
It does.
brilliant.
Yeah, that.
With the creepy music
Yeah.
as well. And there's going to be like the moon up there and she goes across.
It looks so good. I love it.
I think you could do this. I was in the bath rehearsing this, right? And I thought maybe you could say that because there's not much dialogue and a lot happens. Could you say, she travelled through the night sky?
Yeah.
The witch, or she flew through the night sky then crept into his parents' house one night as they slept when they're there, and then kidnapped. It just breaks it up a bit because it sort of goes,
Yeah, there's
but I don't know.
I like that. Sounds nice. She flew through the night sky. It's nice. She
Yeah.
flew through the night sky.
Flew or travelled? Flew? I just had a bit of...
I need to come and watch it from behind to work out how all the Velcro stuff goes.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'm still
do you want to
working
do one more?
I know,
Do you want to do one more time and then I'll have a look because
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we come to our hero of sorts, young Gwion. Right.
And then he waves.
Yeah. He just waves. Okay. The witch flew through the night sky and crept into... Oh. So I'll just go slower.
Yeah, it's going to have that
The
bit.
witch flew through the night sky.
You could just pause it.
Need to make his pocket bigger.
And crept into his parents' house one night as they slept. Then kidnapped the poor boy from his bed. Oh, that's good. That's better.
That's brilliant.
She carried him, crying pitifully, to her tower. Maybe say that when she gets to there.
Yeah, that's right. When
Yeah.
it gets back up in
She carried him, crying pitifully, to her tower. The one thing is you hear things dead. It's like living on a bus stop. You can't hear, if the cars, I'll just pull.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
And so we come to our hero of sorts, young Gwion. Hello, Gwion. The witch. The witch had flown through the night sky. And crept to his parents' house.
Put this in with your hand though, you slip in with a rod.
Ideally, you'd like to slip it. I think you're going to have to. I'll try and work it out so that we can do it without a hand.
Then you take her off.
Yeah.
You can see that, can you, or not?
Yeah, you probably can. Yeah, and especially if you near look, you'll definitely be able to see. But you could probably just get a hand behind it.
I'll just practice going up anyway. So she's
And crept into his parents'
at
house.
the ladder foot up.
Here you go.
Did she go down the ladder first?
No, she goes in the house.
No, I don't know where she was going, right?
And crept into his parents' house
She looms over the parents.
as they slept.
And then up the ladder.
Then kidnapped the poor boy from his bed.
It's a bit lower down. No, it's the right way. It's a bit lower down. That's on her chest.
That's it. And kidnapped the poor boy from his bed.
Close to the screen as possible. could back out.
She carried him, crying pitifully, to her tower.
So this way, a back over.
Yeah, just back
That'd be
off.
quite nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Hi.
I love.
Okay. Cerridwen felt no remorse for this horrible deed, I'm sorry to say. You see, the spell's instructions stated should be simmered gently for a year and a day, stirring regularly. And as a busy single-parent mum, she felt it well within her rights in bringing in help. So it was Gwyon's task to stir the spell day and night, and he did this faithfully. And although he became utterly weary, the witch would not let him rest. In fact, she would beat him if she thought he was slacking.
Big sort of thing.
So I put that down then when she speaks to him.
Yeah,
hold
you
it.
can even hook him over there.
Alright,
And
okay,
then
yeah.
bring her in so she's right back of it, so she's big,
Looming, yeah.
and then have her poking and slapping.
We get it clearly like that.
Yeah.
Shadow, it's like a skeleton.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, these lights are different than the light we usually use.
Look at it.
Clip round the ear. The year passed oh so slowly for young Gwion.
Sorry,
It's
she's just
alright.
laughing at me beating up the boy. Right,
see
so
Now you're getting into the swing of the evilness.
it was always there, darling.
Yeah, I did. Good. Carry on, Elaine.
Right, what's the
year-
sentence? So, can you do the hitting bit again?
Okay. And although he became utterly weary, the witch would not let him rest, and would beat him if she thought he was slacking.
Was that the end of the? Oh.
No,
No, and
the
then
year
she-
passed oh so slowly
Alright,
for
and
young
then she
Gwion.
kind of looms up, and then it's
Yeah.
him stirring again.
But then, on the very last day of the spell's cooking time, the liquid bubbled and splashed, and 3 drops of the viscous brew flew out and landed upon Gwion's finger. He cried out in pain.
Wobbling.
He cried out in pain and put the burnt finger into his mouth.
You need something like
I
a
think we're
glue
gonna have
pack
us
in
all-
there to hold it in.
I need more of this foam.
Yeah, that foamy stuff.
because these ones work.
Yeah.
So, Gwion had tasted the spell meant for the witch's son, and it was Gwion who became suddenly wise. He knew everything. Worlds beyond count opened up before him like crystalline flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew the secret of the tower's 11th hall,
Spinning around.
and all that was, and is,
So you-
and could potentially be.
So put him in the middle then.
Yeah.
He saw the crossroads at which the earth stands, poised between creation and destruction. And he knew that within him
Spinning and floating about a bit.
No.
Yeah. Carry on.
he had the power to ensure the correct pathway. And that's it.
Like that, the power to ensure the.
Bloody-
Is that the
bloody
small
hell.
bit?
He knew everything.
The baby witch, yeah. He also knew that at that very moment, Cerridwen was at the North Pole gathering herbs. But as he became aware of her, so she became aware of him and of what had transpired. She was not happy, to say the least.
And that's it. Yeah,
Ready?
this is good.
I'm
Yeah.
going to put my hand there just to hold it.
Yeah,
If it's
sorry.
gonna break.
Yeah.
Yeah, it won't matter. You have tasted the spell meant for my son, she hissed. And like a comet trailing the cold fire of her anger, she came flying down over the earth, her intention to murder young
Yeah.
Gwion for stealing her son's legacy.
Side to side a little bit, but mainly just backwards and forwards and swaying. Yeah.
Should we keep going? Seamless or?
On to next chasing.
We're on 6, realising what the
Then
witch
how
had.
does she fade out that way to the back?
Yeah.
Yeah, to the back. Yeah, yeah.
Is that all the witches and stuff in that back one?
All the ones
Not yet.
that are,
She has a
that are
baby.
finished with, I put over there.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, when they leave, the bushes should be in there.
So now we've got chasing.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Realising what the witch had planned, Gwion sought to escape her. He found that he could suddenly, effortlessly shift his shape into that of any living form. He felt his legs change into the strong hind legs of a hare, bearing him speedily away across the fields. The witch, being an old hand at this game, however, was soon hot on his heels in the shape of a slavering white hound, sharp of tooth, extremely hot.
And then he does a turn, and then we bring the.
And then you bring them both back. Yeah.
We went this way actually. We just practiced for it that way, and we were still like looking. And then with the hair, did you do? We've got the hair off, and then we've got the dog. So we're doing it that because of the hands. Did we work out that was going to still go first, and it didn't matter on the chasing
Yeah,
back?
we could do it like that. Yeah, if that's easier. Yeah, yeah.
Do you want, just see if you ever want to run through it again.
I mean, we'll have more room behind here, so I think it might be like me or whoever's passing the puppets will do the dog.
Is there going to be two people now, or is
Yeah, but not for all of them. Like the person here is going to be doing most of the action, but the person who's passing the puppets is going to be doing bits.
Oh, cool. That's good to know.
Things
So
like
that.
the crow.
All right, because I was thinking I'd have to work out doing it all, but you
No.
would be like someone
Yeah.
like you doing it. Oh, that's
Yeah.
brilliant. So
Yeah.
you wouldn't. So we could
Yeah.
have the person doing the dog, and then you wouldn't have to change hands. Then.
Yeah. I'll be
Because
sitting
before, when I
behind
rehearsed,
you.
we were doing all of it. weren't
Yeah, I know, and it's a bit too difficult. So, and there is going to have to
we?
be.
So
a
then
second
you can have the
person.
dog, and then the dog can come, and then
the
you
dog
don't
comes
need
back.
to do it. Yeah.
As he sighted, oh sorry,
And then it's the.
can I continue or?
Yeah.
As he sighted a stream ahead, Gwion the hare jumped in, transforming into a quicksilver, slippery small fish.
And I'll do
Sorry.
This is
All
twisting
too
around a
soon,
bit,
though.
this.
No, I need to fix him.
A sly, sleek otter swam close behind him, through the reeds and rushes where he hid, seeking him out.
Or maybe we could pass them. You know, I could bring them on and pass them to you. You could sort of move up.
Oh, swap
towards
over. Yeah.
And that might be
That'll
best
work,
for this
yeah.
bit.
So you go da-da-da-da-da, and then I
then-
turn around.
Back again.
Should we just do that quickly for the fish bit?
Okay.
So we get practice of that.
Yeah.
Elaine, we just
As he
peek out the
sighted a
window.
stream ahead, yeah?
He's gonna-
As he sighted a stream ahead, Gwion the hare jumped in, transforming into a quicksilver, slippery small fish.
Going all over.
That's alright, we're doing up and down, weren't we?
All too soon, though, a sly, sleek otter swam close behind him through the reeds and rushes where he hid, seeking him out. Up, up through the sparkling water. Am I too soon?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
Swap hands.
And it's
Oh.
a long piece of music. for
Yeah.
them.
You'll
So-
know when the music's there.
What we
Yeah.
were saying was that they came 3 times. with
Yeah,
us.
I remember them going back and forth.
Yeah, 3's always the magic number.
Yeah, and then they come back again,
Yeah.
and then when they go off, it goes.
It's quite good. It's sort of quite good floppy in a funny way.
Yeah.
It looks like a really slippery fish, but you've got no idea what it's doing.
I think the shadows probably it's not as
Yeah.
effective as having them because it's just supposed to be his tail that wiggles, but all of it was wiggling.
It's like one of those. Remember those fish that you used to have on your hand that tells you?
Oh, yeah, fortune telling.
It's really curly enough to wonder what that means.
No idea.
We're gonna have the birds coming.
Is that better closer? Because the
Yeah.
shadows don't seem very sharp.
No, they
do
need to be close to the screen all the time, always, except if you're having
It's the witch or
the witch
moon.
looming in. And
Okay, so they're off now.
kind of-
Okay,
They're going to be
Now
going
we've got the
going off that side. So
okay.
so 3. So 1,
Up.
2, 3. Yeah, that'll be right. So they go back.
and then have them
Yeah.
come in when they leave. Have them come in off up, because she says up through the sparkling water.
Yeah.
And then the bird
You need the wee bird
comes
and the
in
big
where the
bird.
fish left.
Yeah, I remember that right there.
Up, yeah?
Yeah.
And then
Up,
these-
Up through the sparkling water, breaking the surface into the bright sun, the fish grew wings and flew away from her as a small bird. Alas, the air behind him was soon stirred by the beating wings of a huge white eagle.
I think you could go in above them.
Nice.
And I think maybe just have these go once, just really slowly, because that's a kind of shorter piece of music.
Gwion was nearing the end of his strength and desperate to hide. He sighted a farm ahead.
So
Has
they
to
need
be
to
more
go-
in the middle, one
Yeah.
more now. So it gets tighter and time starts to drop, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Trying to pass it over to me then, or trying to get the chickens in.
He sighted a farm ahead and dropped to the floor of the granary, becoming an ear of wheat in a mountain of grains, each identical to himself.
What does this one do then?
It just drops down and out. They both go.
Now, have we got the chicken? Alas.
So when
Right.
when I got the second time, just before I bring them on to do the dropping bit, you can get the chicken
Oh,
or
the
wherever it
chicken
is.
ready, yeah.
Then I can go drop them down,
Yeah.
and you'll have the
Yeah,
chicken ready.
and then there'll be that little
Yeah.
light in the middle,
Yeah.
and then, yeah. What is the chicken?
Alas. Not much time had passed before a menacing shadow loomed over him. You guessed it, the witch again. This time in the shape of a horrible great hen. Quick as a flash, down came her red beak and gobbled him up.
These lights are not.
We don't use it as a shape. Before we used to use it as a shape.
For a pregnant, no, but you can. I cut loads more of her skirt out so you can actually see. If you move the baby around, you can
So it's like
actually
the baby
see that
moving.
it's the baby
Oh.
moving in her skirt. So kind of, you haven't got a baby floating in a fucking prolapse womb around.
Okay, shall we begin? Okay. So,
I'll put it a little bit up.
I don't think it matters that
No,
he's low down. So, Gwion was inside the witch's belly, and he grew there into a baby. 9 months passed, and Ceridwen gave birth to him.
And this is when.
We've got this bit now.
Right, now you need both.
Doesn't she pull him up to her face?
She
and she-
lifts him with, with both
Her-
hands backwards.
Oh yeah. And Ceridwen
Do that.
gave birth to him. Her wrath had not cooled, however. "Now I can kill you, you thief," she hissed. And then she looked at him. Such a beautiful baby. She couldn't do it. She could not do it. Disgusted with him and with herself, she tied him into a sack.
With this hand,
she just put it in.
She tied him into a
put that
sack
over his- put the rope over his head. That holds it
and threw him into the river.
What do they do?
Right. Now you need to make sure you've got let go of her hands and you've got just that one and that one.
She tied him into a
I can't
sack
colour code that. Yeah.
So
That's
you
a
know
good
which
idea,
ones
yeah.
and threw
Yeah.
him
and
into the
threw
river.
him into the
Did he
river.
go right down, or you just see him floating?
Oh, you could go right down actually, yeah, because and then have him bob up in the next scene with the old
Yeah.
man. Like, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That bit,
Yeah.
I need practice with that bit, but
He's going to have a bit of netting in his hand. Yeah, so then have it bob back up and start, and maybe have it bob up over here and start floating. Okay then.
was that like
The river carried the sack with the baby in it, leagues downstream,
I think that looks a bit
slowly
funny.
towards the sea, past myriad lives and places, until one day it came to rest by a weir. An old man was fishing there one day, and suddenly felt his net catch on something quite large. Imagine his surprise
It's gonna have a
when
net,
he
yeah.
pulled from the water not a fish, but a baby.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Or is that what can happen?
Yeah, but maybe have
The most
hand on that side, and then you drop the sack.
When he pulled from the
Okay, that as
water,
well, I'll put these two different colours.
The sack, and the baby's stuck in the sack.
You have to
What's
slide the sack
Oh,
up
okay.
and, yeah, keep holding, and then just drop it up.
when he pulled from the water not a fish, but the most beautiful infant he'd ever seen. The kindly old man took the child home with him to his wife, and together they raised him as their son.
Just
His
lift it up
name
to look at
is
the
Taliesin.
but don't have them all in the
Oh,
I'll do
sorry.
Number 8, I reckon.
The years passed by, and Taliesin grew into a wonderful young man with the brightest green eyes, and a voice so beautiful that folks came from miles around to hear him, even though the songs that he sang were strange and unsettling. Okay,
Yeah, so that's the end of that.
that's the end of that.
We'll have his crown on.
13's a bit
Yeah.
blue.
Word of it, look, keep going.
Yeah.
Word of his talent grew until it reached the court, and the king came to hear of him. His heart had been troubled of late, surrounded by men who whispered lies in his ears, each trying to sway the king to their own purpose. Some even urged the king to dig too deeply into the earth, over which the king had guardianship. Taliesin received a summons to the court one day, inviting him to take part in a contest of poetry. So he bade farewell to the old man and woman and set out upon the road. His song and I nearly said dance there. His song and verse proved this is the one that fucks me up. Sorry. His song and verse proved far more magical than any other, and he easily won the competition. The king asked him to remain at the court to advise him.
And then shake hands.
He grew to love Taliesin,
And maybe have him put his arm round him or
who
shake hands, put his hand on his
who taught the king new love and respect for the people and the land, and inspired the king to protect the land from those who wished to harm her.
Put hands up together like that.
Yeah.
Quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Due to love and respect.
Yeah. Yeah, like that.
Does that look nice today?
Yeah. Well, the great thing is you've got the film to look back on, so it's dead.
Yeah. I'll send you a
Helpful.
copy of the-
Because I think it's looking great. Yeah, I love it. So we're nearly at the end. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right. So finally, what's the end scene?
The
Last
end
scene
scene
is
is just
him.
walking down the highway. Is it?
Right.
Singing. Yeah.
And if you are lucky and keep your eyes and ears open, Taliesin can still be found,
Yeah.
travelling the highways and the byways of our land, singing.
And the bird. Hey.
I always feel like saying singing his beautiful